Hi, I'm Angie Beta with Town Square Buzz, and welcome back as we continue our discussion with Johnny Moore, who's running for City Council at large seat in our upcoming May election. Mr. Moore, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thanks for continuing our discussion. We have a little bit more politics to talk about,
Let's go for it.
and let's hear what you have to say on several other topics.
Okay.
As you may know, or probably are aware, we have an area that has been called Gateway Center, and there's been a lot of discussion about what should go there: hotel, convention center, retail. What will that look like moving forward? Given that it is an entryway into our city, how do you feel about building a convention center there? Do you have a feeling pro or con? And how do you also feel about the city utilizing public funds, tax money, to fund economic development?
I'm for building Gateway as far as the commercials and things of that nature. I am for that.
Okay.
Because it brings in revenue, brings in the taxes, and that's what we're looking for. I'm also for giving an opportunity for the public sector to put in their taxes.
Mm-hmm.
However, it depends on the percentage. When we're talking 85, 15, or 90, 10, depend on what's going on. But like the airport, where 90% is private sector, 10% is the city. We could do that into this gateway. It's very strange that we've waited this long to build up this commercialized plan. I know they were going through litigations, and I know things are going on with that. However, we should move forward, but everyone should be involved with this. The private sector, public sector, everyone should be involved. The partnership should be stronger. And my understanding is that the partnership between the private and the public is not as strong as it should be. And this is what I want to see. I want to see more connection with both, because both can thrive to become better and profit from what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
We want more partnership with companies, big companies and small companies, to come here to help grow McKinney. And I think that would be a great thing. Now, as far as convention centers and things of that nature, it'll be a great thing, but should we do it now? Should we? Do we have the population to do it? I know we're at 130. I know things are going, but what in the next 10 years? Who's going to use it? How are we going to continue to foot the bill on that convention center, and how are we going to build it, and how are we going to use it? So there's a lot of things there's several things that I want to get a hold of before the convention center. Hotels, I think the hotels is great. I think we could build on the hotels, because this will be the gateway from Texas to Oklahoma. This is McKinney. Everything else, so we should have people have an opportunity to stay here for a few days, and I think that's a great thing.
So when you say there are several things we should get a hold of before the convention center, what are those important things in your eyes?
One is, how much use are we going to use? What are the future going to look like? For instance, if we build it, so we built it, where are we going to go from there? How long will it take for us to fill that up constantly? Mm-hmm. And can we bring people in to use our convention center? It can happen. I'm not sure if it will happen within the next 5 to 7, 8 years, but it will happen. So therefore, if that's not a necessity right now, we must look closely at it and say, maybe we could wait about 3 or 4 or 5 years from now. The other thing is, will it be feasible for the taxpayers to foot this right now? And are we going to get anything back? If we're not going to get anything back, then yes, we've got to hold off on that.
Okay.
So those are some of the things we have to look at. And again, we have to crunch numbers and see if that's going to be feasible for the people themselves.
Okay. Given we've been through some tough economic times in recent years, obviously, and I understand the economy's turning around some. I think we're hopefully, other than gas,
Right.
feeling a lot better about things, generally speaking. However, McKinney has faced and will continue to face to some degree a budget crunch. We have had to freeze wages for fire and police and put a hold on hiring in many cases. So how would you prioritize our city budget? What things do you feel are important if you have to make cuts in the next, say you're elected and cuts are coming? What do you look at? How do you decide? And or do you feel it's better to keep our quality of life and raise taxes?
Well, that's interesting. Raise taxes. That doesn't go together for some reason.
Yeah,
However,
that's true. Given your
right,
background,
right. However, some of the things we cut, we have to look at the projects that are going on right now. Could they sustain? Can we sustain the project going forward without paying as much as we could? For example, the airport. The
Okay.
airport is, my understanding, 90-10. So it's about $50 million and $45 million or 40 or $45 million go to the private sector, and the rest come here. Let's say $5 million come from the city. Would the airport be devastated if we eliminate, let's say 30%, let's say $2 million, and they have $3 million? Would they be that devastated to not move forward? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think the bottom line is that people will always use our airport. They're not going to shut it down. We're going to continue to get tax off of that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to continue to profit off that. We will. We're just going to we'll slow up the project, but we're not going to stop doing the project. We're just going to slow it up. Those are some of the projects we have to look at one by one and see
Mm-hmm.
where can we cut, and we have to cut that down. As far as the police and the fire department, it is not an option to continue to freeze salaries and jobs, hiring between those two, simply because we are at 131,000, and I don't want them to be so stretched out and being a skeleton crew to protect 131,000. We can't do that. That's not an option for me. But both fire and the police department should sit down at the table and be reasonable about what we can give, and especially within the next 2 years. CBO has stated that within 2014 we will be getting out of the recession.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 24 months,
Mm-hmm.
and so everyone, the police department, fire department, projects, even the realtors, we have to play a big part into saying, let's keep this going, because if you don't do that, we're going to cut funds, we're going to cut people, we're going to lay people off, and that's not what we want. What we want is everybody to pitch in so we can handle this. And I'll look at all what I have in front of me and see what we can do.
Okay. The city council this year has described or taken on their top priority is economic development. It's their top initiative.
Right.
Do you also feel that that's critical for our city as well as we move forward?
That's critical.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a top priority? No.
Okay.
Should we continue to talk about it? Yes, but it's not a priority right now for me. And I know a lot of people will say, well, that's wrong. Well, in my case is that the people themselves, they want to make sure we have them stabilized within the next 24 months. That's the number one thing. As far as the other, we all could coincide with one another if we make allowance for the people in McKinney to continue to survive and continue to live. And that means everyone should. So that area is not a priority, but we should continue to put it on to build. Yes, that's
Okay.
it.
And lastly, tell us something about you, Johnny Moore, that the general public does not know.
Well,
I know, you're an open book, right?
well, I love gardening.
Oh.
And the funny thing about it, I'm from an area in San Diego that probably do not have any garden around. our houses are like next to each other, so we don't have any
Yes,
land.
yes.
So when I came out here, I enjoy gardening. I enjoyed seeing things grow. And I get my hands dirty, and my wife always said, "Babe, you're out there too long." And I'm just like, "Oh, you get in the dirt," and I still have a barrel that had nothing but dirt and fertilizer. I just love it. I enjoy that. I play the bass. I play the bass guitar, fret, learn notes by ears. I enjoy playing music. Other things I like to do is just. My daughter and I, we enjoy math, and so we got the whiteboard, and we always get into there. So, just simple thing. Bowling is one thing.
Oh, there you go.
And there's one RC car that you guys get. McKinney had brought in this Traxxas, this RC company.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
I was over there.
I want to make this clear. I love Traxxas. Traxxas is great, but the company I run, I RC cars. I love RC cars. I have it in my garage, and it's very interesting. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna run it, and it's Losi. It's a team Losi. It's a Losi. But I know people say, "Well, you got to be Traxxas." But I enjoy that. I enjoy if they bring it out. They can bring out their make tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll be the first one there to play it.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about you and what your platform is as you engage in the city in your campaign. We wish you good luck.
Thank you.
And thanks again for joining us.
Thank you, Angel.
And thank you for joining us at Town Square Buzz as we discussed with Johnny Moore his campaign for running for City Council at large. We hope that you will get out and vote. Early voting begins May 2nd and runs through May 10th. Election Day is May 14th.